The spotlight is on the Oakland Raiders today from the Golden Nugget book in downtown Las Vegas. 32 for 32 series, NFL preview videos. And we might be able to call these the Las Vegas Raiders eventually, but we'll talk about that at the end of the video. Bernie, a 7-9 team. Bernie Fratto and Tony Miller with me today. And Bernie, a 7-9 team. The Raiders were last season. The win total was 8.5. A lot of people like this team. But we're going to get into reasons why the optimism surrounding the Oakland Raiders might be a little too soon.
Well, I agree, Matt, and they are a trendy pick, and there's a lot of hype around this team for multiple reasons. You teased it in the beginning there. But will the schedule trip this Raider team up as it has in so many years past? They have to play 5 games east of the Mississippi on the road before Halloween during the dreaded 10 a.m. Pacific time slot. And that's been death for them. They open up week 1 in New Orleans. Interesting line, they're catching 1. That'll be sort of an acid test. But we're not going to know whether this team is for real or not until Halloween. And we'll know based on those 5 road games. Look, they went into Denver last year and won. Denver had no answer for Khalil Mack. Even though statistically they were trounced, Denver turned the ball over, but the Raiders were physical. I like Jack Del Rio. I like Amari Cooper. I like Derek Carr. He can make every throw on the field, but he also makes some throws that are inopportune that have cost them games. I have to go under on the Raiders because I'm not convinced yet that they can navigate this schedule, and they haven't looked real good in the preseason, even though the preseason you really can't learn a lot, but I've just watched their offensive inefficiency, as it were. They played their entire unit, first unit, against Green Bay for a whole first half in week 2, which is unheard of, against a lot of second and third teamers, and struggled. So a lot of questions about this team. I don't like them getting over the total of 8.5.
All right, Tony, I'm going to play the Raiders under 8.5 as well. 5 trips east in the first 8 weeks, early kickoff times. On top of that, the Raiders give up a home game to play the Texans in Mexico City. Nothing on this schedule tells you the Raiders are going to be a 9-7 team, so you got to play this under. What are your thoughts?
I agree, Matt. I like under 8.5 also. You know, offense I'm not worried about. Derek Carr's had 2 great seasons, put up decent numbers. Murray running the ball for him is decent. Mari Cooper catching the ball is great. My problem with them is the defense. Khalil Mack, after that, what do you have? Charles Woodson, the vocal leader on this team, is now gone. They have nothing on that secondary at all. I hate their defense. I don't think they're going to do very well at all on the road. I like under 8.5.
All right, I'll disagree with one thing. I do like their defense. I think they've got some guys maybe you don't know that are going to be big-time players. Khalil Mack, number 2 in the league, 15 sacks last season. This Raiders defense got a lot of good young talent, Bernie. I think they're better than what Tony expects.
Well, you're both right, and here's why I say that. They're not consistent. They blow assignments, they commit dumb penalties. They don't always line up in the right spot. Look, they played Denver twice last year. You'd both agree Denver had a pretty potent running attack, right? They held Denver to a total of 77 rushing yards. So the bottom line is, when they want to, they can step up. They just can't do it all the time, and that's not good enough for the National Football League.
Tony, how about Derek Carr? 61% completions last year. His completion percentage has got to go up a little higher this year. 32 touchdowns. Got to cut down on his interceptions. He's got Cooper and Crabtree, Latavius Murray. If you don't like the Raiders' defense, do you like their offense?
I do love their offense. Carr's the franchise quarterback. And I heard, that he's so good as far as researching the teams ahead of time. He's the man. And, they're going to have a good offense, no doubt about it. They're going to score points. I'm just worried about they're going to give up more than they score.
All right, how about the Week 1 game Bernie made a reference to? At the Superdome, the Saints are 1-point favorites. When this line opened, the Raiders were 1-point favorites. That's not a big deal, not a key number. But where's the money on this game? Where's it going to be by kickoff?
Yeah, I think it's going to be on the Saints at home. They love playing the Saints at home in Drew Brees, especially in Game 1. Here you got a very, very bad Saints defense, and Carr could take a lot of shots at them. So it's going to be a high-scoring game, I think.
Saints had one of the 2 worst defenses in the NFL last season. How do you think that Week 1 game plays out, Bernie?
Whenever a game is this close in terms of the matchups on paper, I look to the quarterback, and I'll still take Drew Brees over Derek Carr in home at perfect conditions while everybody's still healthy. I like New Orleans in a shootout.
Okay, I don't disagree with that. let's talk briefly about the Las Vegas Raiders. Do you think it's going to happen?
I do. I really do. I think it's going to happen. I'm excited about it. I think it's great for Las Vegas, great for the state of Nevada, and I think it's just a matter of time and getting things done. But I do think it's going to happen.
All right, I think it should happen. Bernie, you've been a little bit of a skeptic as to whether or not this is going to play out and it actually will become reality, the Raiders in Vegas.
Well, 6 months ago I was. I think Roger Goodell is softening, but I don't think it's a lock by any stretch. We got to get the stadium deal first, guys. Until that, I've really got to recuse myself from the argument.
All right. For Tony Miller and Bernie Fratto, that's the spotlight on the Oakland Raiders from the Golden Nugget Sportsbook.
Recuse.